Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Outer Rim podcast, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series on Disney Plus. If you've never been here before, this is our fifth episode. It's not our final episode, but it's our fifth episode. We will be doing one more of these next week for the season finale. Hopefully the series finale. But there is rumors that there's going to be season 2 of this. So, those of you that don't know what the show is, we go over in we review, we break down, and I give you my thoughts on each and every single episode of the Obi-Wan series. We've covered 4 episodes so far, so if you haven't seen any of the 4 episodes, please do not watch this. This is a spoiler alert for anybody. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen any of this episodes, or maybe you don't want to watch the show and you're more entertained by me telling you the story of what's going on. My thoughts are my thoughts. Your thoughts are your thoughts. No one's right or wrong here. This is my thoughts, but entertainment-wise. So if you get your butt hurt because you like something that I don't, or vice versa, it's all good. It's all about bringing people together and having a conversation about stuff. So let's start it off. I have to say this was the best episode in the series, but it was still a bunch of crap. Okay. So it starts off with, we left off from last week where Kenobi, real fast. This is funny. You have to see this to believe it. Okay. You got to see this to believe it. We're going to bring this up now. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it. But this spot right here and this spot right here. Now, I don't know if it's supposed to be this way or not, but Disney World likes to put hidden Mickeys into things, and maybe because I go to Disney World all the time and I see it, I don't know if that's what it is, but it looks like a hidden Mickey inside the actual thing. If you guys can't see it, let me make it really large for you to see. Right? See, you can see the actual Mickey is down below there. Okay, so I don't know if they do it on purpose or whatnot, but it is what it is. Okay, so what's going on, Milky? What's going on, Cujo? So it starts off with what we've been waiting for the entire time. I almost, didn't take that down. Anakin, which I thought was funny. I posted something in Discord, if you guys haven't seen it already. A man in his house, I should just say a person in their house, basically in one afternoon after this show aired, did a better job with Anakin Skywalker with the de-aging process than the person that had 6 months to do it that works for $1 billion company. Go check it out on Discord when you can. What's going on, Dope? Okay, so it starts off. We've been waiting for this moment basically the entire time the show's been on. This is the 5th episode, and this is our first flashback. It's our first flashback of Obi-Wan Kenobi, as he looks pretty close to what he did. This takes place before the battle and stuff in episode 2, so he's still teaching Anakin stuff and whatnot. Did they fire the Luke guy? I have no idea if it's the same guy or if he's just working for the Mando. I have no idea. Okay. So this scene I liked, right? I liked this because this was bringing us back to what we thought the show was going to be, about the bonding of Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker and their battle going, always competing and yet being a master and a Padawan that didn't want to listen and thinking he was better than his master, but his master always had him something to show or teach him. And this, what I did like in this episode, which I thought was really, really good. I don't want to say editing-wise, but I guess the editing is part of it. The editing and the story-wise of integrating later in the episode where when Obi-Wan was losing the sword fight, this fight, okay, it cuts to the emotions of what's happening with Obi-Wan. And when Anakin gets overtaken later, it cuts to the present day of them learning stuff and saying things years and years ago, because at this point, it's like 12 years ago for when they were doing this. So I did like this aspect of the episode, okay? But this fight sequence and Hayden Christensen coming back in his role as Anakin Skywalker. This is actually really the first time we see him. But as they play, it cuts, right? It cuts with the fight scene. As soon as they clash sabers, boom, it cuts to Darth Vader because he's having this flashback moment of that. And I wish they had more of these. I wish they had more of these from at least episode 2 on. Episode 1, we didn't have to because of but I just feel like it was a waste of time or wasting time in the first 4 episodes without showing these like flashbacks between Anakin and Obi-Wan. Okay, so Darth Vader gets approached here by Reva, and Reva here says that, hold on, let me make sure I got the subtitles on here. Reva says the third sister, or I'm sorry, the general says the third sister's here, or the commander, right? She walks in very awkwardly, by the way. Darth Vader, he just looks stunning. He is the best, one of the best, if not the best villains out there. It's just so menacing. That helmet is just iconic. It's just fantastic. And as much as I hate this series, goddamn do I love Darth Vader and how they ruined him and Obi-Wan in this series. But I love Darth Vader and how he looks. He's amazing. Okay? He's just an awesome character. She comes in and says, with my great honor to be invited aboard, Lord Vader. And he's like, cut the bullshit, basically, right? He's like, I'm not interested in your civilities here. Where is he? The tracker worked. That's what trackers do, by the way. All right? Like, can I just say that is a dumb line? Okay? Obviously, he knows you tracked him. And obviously, the tractor worked. You could have said, we know where they are. I tracked them. Would have been the same thing. He's arriving on Jabim as we speak. Okay? He says, you've done well. Okay? And then this bullshit, right, tells her to kneel and says, you are now the Grand Inquisitor. First off, this is not how their own lore of Grand Inquisitors work. When the first Grand Inquisitor died, which he's not dead, which we'll get to in a bit, okay? Soon as the Grand Inquisitor died, the next person up in the Grand Inquisitorness rankings would have been appointed Grand Inquisitor. It's not a democracy here. It's not a thing. It's literally one dies, you pull the tissue, right? Let me show you the Grand Inquisitor on this really, really hard example. Here's the Grand Inquisitor, okay? Grand Inquisitor dies. Brother 2. If Brother 2's not there, hey, look, Sister 1. If Sister 1's not there, Sister 2. You see how this works? The hierarchy? I know it's really hard to think about it. Okay? It's really hard to think of it. But anyway, so she kneels down and they give her a little pin. Little pin, you are Grand Inquisitor. They put a little magnet on her, and she's like, oh my God, all my dreams are coming true to get close to Vader. Okay, because we said this. I said this. I think it was episode 2. I think it was in the after show. I said that obviously she's probably going to turn or try to kill Vader. Okay, well, she's terrible at that too. But anyway, we'll continue on. That's right, Krebsy. We all predicted stuff. All right. I'll bring up those clips a little bit later, right? Of the ones I literally said it, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, almost to the T. Okay. And I think I'm right at the end of this. So now we get the spaceship, and it lands inside this hangar bay on this planet Jabim. And mind you, I just want to wait. Let me see if I see this right. I want to make sure when it opens up, they open up, and we do see it. There's 2 ships back there, okay? And I just want you to see it. So it's hard to see, but right here, there's another ship that it lands in front of, right? You can see it there, and then it lands there. So there are 2 ships in the hangar. Now, this will come back to be an important thing later on, okay? So as the doors open up, all the people come out, and obviously the whole crowd is so relieved that everyone's coming off the ship except Wade. Poor Wade. Wade is not with them. Okay. So I want to know, where did they park the speeder? Where did they park the speeder? It went up into the ship, didn't it? That ship doesn't look... Anyway. So here we are. And we see Haja. If you guys forgot who Haja was, that's the fake Jedi that would take all these people and ship them out. While he's coming back, we really don't care and really don't know. He's basically there to drop a communicator later on that Obi-Wan gives him so stupidly. But we'll get to that. I'll hold my place. Okay, so he says, what are you doing here? He's like, well, I had nowhere else to go. Right after I saw you, I got in a fight with that scary lady Inquisitor. Okay. Now I'm wanted by the Empire. I think this is a lie, first off, and a stupid line. Because Reva, do you think Reva actually wiped his mind, or not wiped his mind, but saw his things and knew he wasn't a Jedi, knew he was a nobody, and then reported paperwork back about him? Wanted by the Empire. Okay, sure. Sure, we'll go with that. That's fine. Okay. But the show said that the fifth brother was supposed to replace the Grand Inquisitors, so the 1 going to 2 hinting isn't a thing in the show. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, because brother 2, 3, and 4 are dead, okay? And sister 1 and 2, right? We know where sister 2 is. So, and it all depends. Just because 5 could have got into the Inquisitor program before 1, sister 1. You see what I'm saying? So it is a thing. They just didn't follow their own thing. They're just pinning shit on people. Okay. So as they're sitting in this place, it's pretty boring here. Once we get all the people out of here, we'll do whatever you want. Okay. Now, this whole time they're sitting here, all of a sudden they're coming. I don't know how he knows he's coming, but he knows they're coming. Okay. We have a few hours. Okay. He says, everything's going to be all right. The path will protect us. The path will protect us. I keep looking over here because that's where the camera was. We'll do everything we can. He says, I'll help. Okay. So, all right. Everyone gather up. Leave everything you don't need, and we're going to get on the ship. It cuts back to Vader. He's staring into the void here because he's so excited to catch Kenobi. They go to Jabim. They're beaming over there. He says, now get this, right? Reva says, my lord, lock down the facility. Okay. He says, if we seal them in now, Reva says, if we seal them in now, they can hold out for days. Now, this is a writer writing this stuff. If we seal them in now, they can hold out for days. Okay. And Darth Vader says, if we cannot break them, we don't need to break them. We can break, and obviously Obi-Wan. So now the little robot, if you guys forgot Lola, okay, Lola, the robot, now with red eyes, so evil red eyes, is now coming out because it's been reprogrammed, and it goes into this box and it knows where exactly to go because it's like, hey, I know where we are. I'm going to go into this vent and saw things apart, and nobody knows any different. And obviously, the vent closes up behind it, and it does little batteries up, not included in there, and it messes with stuff. So Obi-Wan sees all the names and all the Jedis, and there's a little box with the Jedi lightsabers there. If anybody can read this stuff, let me know in the comment section down below what it means. If not, I don't care. I'm past the point of caring anymore. So obviously he sees the Jedi lightsabers. Ooh, memory berries. Oh, whose lightsaber is that? Oh, I know whose that is. Is that what's his name's? Oh, that's it. Right? Yeah, I used to be one of the people that cared. I don't care anymore. So Obi-Wan picks up the lightsabers, and you can see that he's like, oh my God, I need to help these people. They helped so many. They even got the robes. I know it's super dark, you can't see, but they even got the robes of the Jedi. So many Jedi robes. They're so flame retardant. They could have kept it on. It would have been fine. So Obi-Wan has this moment, and then all of a sudden, the little robot closes the doors. Okay, closes the doors, and they're like, "What's happening?" And they're like, "It's breaking." Okay, what's happening? The controls aren't responding. An Imperial destroyer just arrived in orbit above us. Oh my God. Oh my God. What's going to happen? Well, if I was Darth Vader, I would keep the Star Destroyer above because you know exactly where they are because of the tracking beacon. And I would take that Star Destroyer and just bombard the fucking planet until they're all dead. That's what I would do if I was Darth Vader. But I'm not, right? So plot has to move forward. So we're going to send a bunch of troops down to the planet. It says they're not here for her. They're here for Vader. Okay? Because really nobody knows that Princess Leia is there. And even if they did know, I don't know why they're tracking Obi-Wan. He's going back to Alderaan. He's going back to Alderaan. He's got to deliver the kid back to Alderaan, which they know they have. That Reva literally told people to go to Alderaan to kidnap, to deliver her back to her parents. Anyway, it's retarded. It's retarded. But anyway, escape, tagged. We found the base. And I did call this last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever I called it. I said that this episode would be the Empire Strikes Back episode where they attack the rebel base, basically, is what I said. All right? So the writing is just so stupid, Milky. What's going on, Wolverine? Just so stupid, the writing. Okay? So then it cuts back. Now, memory berries. I don't have keys. Let me jangle my keys because you're a kitten. Okay? Because there's a fight going on with Obi-Wan and Anakin, and I'm making fun of this, but at the same time, this is the best part of this episode. This is bringing back moments, and I do like the edit of them cutting back and forth as they're, fighting. Anakin thinks he's got the over Obi-Wan and so on, and they cut it back and forth, and I like it. I do. I like it. It's good storytelling at this point in the show, but the writing is just terrible. Okay. I do have to say the choreography of the fighting with Hayden and Ewan McGregor being Obi-Wan and Anakin, it felt like episode 2. It felt exactly like he didn't lose a beat, and they were really fighting. I really did like this aspect of the fake fighting, right? Because they were just sparring basically. They had their lightsabers on stun. The CGI was terrible compared to what I posted in Discord, so you can look at that, right? So I like how Anakin and they're fighting, and they're having a moment here, like, you underestimate me, Master, and I do like this fight. This again, memory berries, jingle the keys. It's a lot of fun, and this would have more impact if Reva wasn't in the show. This would have more impact if Princess Leia wasn't in the show. This would have more impact if they kept doing this throughout the series with Obi-Wan and Anakin. But again, so it cuts to, this is a cool shot. I did like this shot with Vader looking into the glass and seeing his reflection with the planet in the background and whatnot. Sort of like he's overpowering the planet or shadowing the planet or whatnot. You know what I mean? I do like stuff like this. Good cinematography there. Again, Darth Vader's helmet looks amazing. So they send out 2 ships down. Why you wouldn't take the Star Destroyer and just bombard the base exactly where they are? Fantastic, right? Here's where it gets bad looking. Okay, this is where it gets bad looking. So they send the 2 transport ships down with like 50 stormtroopers on there. Ewan McGregor gives a little speech going on, all right? And he says, I understand you're scared. Okay, the Empire will attack soon. Thanks for the Captain Obvious. Okay, they're stronger than us. Thank you again, Captain. They're better equipped than us. They're better trained. Well, I don't know if they're better trained. So if we try to fight them, we will not survive. I mean, he's really a good pep talk. Really good pep talk, right? But we do not need to fight them. Very wise. Very wise, Obi-Wan. We just need to hold them off long enough to get you all out. And they're like, yeah, let's do it. Okay. Then, Roken, how much time do we need to override the doors? He says 3-4 hours. First off, he didn't even go look at what the fucking problem was. Okay? The line that should have came out of his mouth was, I don't know what happened yet. You got to give me a couple minutes to figure out. All right, go figure it out. Nope, you have 1 hour. So get this. He's a trained mechanic. You would think he tinkers or whatnot. He said 3-4 hours, right? He's like, we need to get the remote access, every other remote access. Everyone else get locked down, everyone else in the entry of this facility, okay? We defend our position together. And they don't really defend anything later anyway. Okay? But by that time, they get inside and will be gone. Okay? Dun, dun, dun. You heard them. Okay? So, they want to go fix the gate, or the gate, but they're not there yet. He says, I'm not big enough, or I'm too big to fit in this thing. They start doing the A-Team cinematic, montage. They're putting bars in front of the doors, even though the doors themselves are reinforced steel, thick. We're talking a good foot thick, okay, which will come play into later because I was laughing my ass off. Okay, they got the bars. They're sealing them, okay, thick. I mean, we're talking thick doors, okay. Okay, this is the outside of the place. Now they're coming in. Right, they're landing, and when they land, they're running. Right, they're sealing up all the doors. They're putting all the stuff. Everyone's praying. Right, they're all right. We got this, no problem. Again, thick doors. They're locking them in place. And this right here was a terrible. This looks like it's a soundstage. 100% looks like this is a soundstage, and this was bad in my eyes, especially when they run out. Like this shot right here, 100% soundstage. It looked bad. Okay, they all run out. There's a good 50 guys or so, and then all of a sudden they get into position. They bring a giant cannon. Remember what Reva said though. If they lock down, they could last for days. Okay, they can last for days. So they have all the stormtroopers, and they're gonna just start shooting this big cannon, opening up the door. Is that who that is? It's Ice Cube's son? Is that who that is? Okay. So then we have Reva's ship come in. Wait, this show has writers? Exactly. Okay. Then Reva's ship comes in because she has to fly her own ship because she's an Inquisitor. She couldn't ride with the troops. And then they all have to do this stagnant thing here where she walks through because this is ominous. Nothing about this character. Let me repeat. Nothing about this character is menacing in any way, shape, or form. The only thing menacing about her is nothing against the actor herself, is the acting ability of this character that she's doing. Okay? That's the most menacing thing ever. Okay? So she walks up, the stormtroopers part the sea, she comes up, and then she just starts shouting, fire! Like she's very angry. Right? No composure whatsoever. No couth. And they just start plowing into the door. And she's like, yeah, we're going to get this. Okay? We're just going to keep punching the wall, keep hitting it. They have a heavy gun. Well, don't you think they would have a heavy gun? I mean, Obi-Wan said that you can't fight them, but they are going to outgun you and outtrain you and everything. So she says it's a heavy gun. Thank God. Okay? I guess they're looking on the closed circuit, or maybe she's just hearing the gun. Now think about that bullet was like this, right? And they've already shot 2 or 3 rounds into that door. Okay, 2 or 3 rounds into that door. Okay, can't open it, and the thing's not working. They're like, I can't get up in there. Okay, now you would assume that an hour has passed because Obi-Wan said you have an hour. You have 1 hour. Okay, so time's a ticking. So they probably wasted a good 45 minutes here, and Ice Cube's son couldn't figure it out. Okay, he says, I don't need your opinion. Okay, he says, we need to try to go in the vents. Of course, let's go in the vents. He's like, well, I'm too big to fit. Dun, dun, dun. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I just happen to bring a pocket-sized person with me that can get fit into that vent. Okay? A 10-year-old who doesn't know anything, but she does have a robot. So she did wire a robot. So she has her own robot. So she knows what she's doing. Fixing big giant gates in a place, right? She knows. She's got this. She's like, I'll do it. I'll need a ladder. I'll need a ladder. Right? And he's like, all right, sure, fine. Why not? Okay. It's not playtime now, princess, he says. Okay. And then Obi-Wan's like, hey, you trust me? I trust her. So if you trust me and I trust her, then you would be okay with this whole thing. Okay? So it's the rock, paper, scissors equation. And then Leia's like, oh, thanks for getting my back. Okay? All right, get her up there. Get a ladder. And she's like, this is my big time for the show. I know what I'm doing. That's why the mechanic said it'd take 3 to 4 hours. Obi-Wan said 1, and she's going to do it in 20 minutes. She's the best. Around. Okay? That's trustception. That's right. That's trustception. Okay? So, as she gets in there, it's amazing that she gets in there. Look at this wiring job. This looks like someone's computer setup. I mean, it's just wires everywhere. They're crisscross and stuff. Like, who did this wiring job? But I'm sure she knows what she's looking for, right? She's looking for a red box, okay? She also doesn't see her flying robot that's hiding behind the wires or hear it or anything, okay? So Obi-Wan has a message, okay? Now, I want to read this to you. The very first line out of Organa's mouth, okay, is, I know we said no to communications, but your silence worries me. This is probably one of the shittiest lines I've ever seen in a show. Not Star Wars show, any show in the history of shows, okay? This whole thing right here is to move the plot forward, okay? Because he literally says, I know we said no communications, but your silence worries me. Because we weren't supposed to communicate. Not supposed to communicate. That's why there's silence. Okay? So, not supposed to communicate. And then he says, I'm leaving you a message. Now, obviously, destroy this immediately after. Like it was Mission Impossible. Like you have 15 seconds and this message will self-destruct. Okay? But for some fucking reason, Obi-Wan says, and this is the best part. After the stupid line, Organa continues to say, if he finds you, if he learns of the children, okay, if he learns of the children, if we don't hear from you soon, I will head to Tatooine. Okay? This is almost as stupid as in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, when the smartest man in the universe tells the enemy that with one thing of his breath, you're dead. So she just erases his mouth. You're literally telling the whole scenario across the board, which is just idiotic. Okay? He says, Owen will need help with the boy. Okay? I pray for your safety. Okay? Right then and there, Obi-Wan should have just taken that thing and smashed it on the ground. Could have taken his lightsaber that he hasn't used at all and sliced it, stabbed it real quick, done. But no. I told you, I said it. I said Reva will find out that Vader has children, right? That would have children. But here's the really weird part. Like, her whole plan was to lure Obi-Wan out. But yet she knew Obi-Wan was on Tatooine, but then stole the child to lure him off Tatooine but then they know he's going back to Alderaan. Excuse me. Okay, he's going back to Alderaan. You have to take the person you stole back to their home world where they are. You know that Obi-Wan was on Tatooine. You didn't need Princess Leia. And now we have a message that there's a boy, and now, obviously, Reva can't be that retarded to not figure out that Leia and her brother are two separate children. So we're going to get a little dialogue next week about this is why you left, right? We have to kill, right? Because she can't kill Anakin, so she has to kill Luke, right? She has to kill Luke because Luke is his son. So Obi-Wan will be like, no, and then obviously what's going to happen, Owen's going to make the kill, right? Owen's going to get the kill. Mind you, and the reason I say this is because back in episode 2, when Reva leans into Owen and says, you think you could take me? And he just kind of, whatever, okay? There'll be some sort of line, okay, next week when Owen kills Reva, okay, that he says, I killed Jedi or whatever. He'll say some sort of line, right? Shawarma, believe me, okay? Believe me. Anyway. Okay? So 100% need to destroy that. Then she's like, what are you doing? Are you hiding something? Tala comes into the room. He says, no, everything's good. Everything's good. We're being attacked. Everything's fine. It'll be fine. Okay. And she's like, oh, okay. Okay. And then she gives a little pep talk to him. You know, I lied, she says. Every time I do this because, you know, everyone I save, I was undercover and I did this. But when we started gathering them up, I had a change of heart. I saw what they were doing, you know, what the Inquisitors would do. They would kill the children. She's like, I saw that. 6 of them, 6 children, right? And she's like, and Obi-Wan's like, okay, I need to get out of here. Outside, they're just wailing. Obi-Wan comes in and says, they have enough rounds. Don't know how long it could be. Let's go to plan B. Okay. I have to slow them down. Hold on. I literally started laughing out loud. I thought I was watching a comedy at this point. Okay. Mind you, Obi-Wan said, please watch, to the complete other crook who sent him on a goose chase, who stole money from people, said, here's my shit. Hold my shit and watch Leia, Princess Leia for me, would you? So all of a sudden, they say they want to talk. The Inquisitor, they request you, and he stands back, and Reva walks up to the door, the foot wide door. I want everyone to take a quick moment here for a second, and if you're in a house right now, I want you to tell your significant other, your brother, your sister, okay? I want you to go, not outside your bedroom door. I want you to go on the opposite side of your wall, which is not a foot thick, and it's not probably made of concrete. It's probably just wood, okay? And I want you to start talking at a normal tone and see if they can hear you through this thickness of a metal door, okay? They are literally whispering. And if one of you out there says, no, they were talking in their minds and they were just showing, bullshit, okay? Bullshit, okay? When he puts his hand up against the door, he's just feeling up over there, okay? They're talking. They're moving their mouths. That's not for us. They could have just done the mental thing, okay? He's literally reading her mind through the door, feeling the sense, right? All of a sudden, Obi-Wan can read the mind of her through the door, through that, okay? He says, Lord Vader will have you at any cost, okay? And he's just sitting there, and he's like, okay, you mean Anakin? And then she looks, and they have the eyes. You knew who Vader was, okay? But how did you know who Vader was? Vader didn't tell you, because if Vader knows, and this is why Reva hasn't died yet, because she knew that Anakin was Vader. But how would she know that Anakin's Vader? Because when she got slaughtered inside the actual temple, when Anakin came in and started slaughtering people, he was Anakin. He was not Lord Vader at that time. He wasn't Lord Vader till after the moment. And then it wasn't said out loud. It was said in the Saw recording. Unless she was at the dead body when the Emperor came in and then said that now rise Lord Vader. Okay. What's going on, Gritter? Okay. He says Vader would have kept that hidden. Okay. That's right. He would have. So that means you're too young to have known him. So then how did she get on to the Inquisitor staff? Okay, they found her in a gutter. They wouldn't have grabbed her from the temple as a Padawan. Okay? Plus he stabbed her. That's the way it looks. That's the way it looks at the end of the show, that he stabbed her as a kid and stabbed her again. Oh, sorry, spoiler alert. Okay? So now he says, unless you were there. He says, it doesn't matter where I was. Well, he knows. The night of Order 66, you were a youngling. Okay? He says, that's how you knew. You saw him. But you saw him as Anakin. Your writing is stupid. Okay? Anakin killed the others. That's enough. And she says, he killed the other younglings. But someone, you're supposed, and she says, enough. 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 That's what she says. The acting range of is just always just angry. She needs a psychiatrist, really. She needs a Star Wars psychiatrist. She's just angry all the time. She's like the Hulk of... no, actually, that's an insult because Hulk is much more beta than her. So this is her. We were right from the beginning. We said it's her because that's how it started. It started on this girl, and it will end on this girl. Okay? It will end on this girl. Okay? So she says that Anakin came in. Again, this is Anakin, not Darth Vader. Okay? Walks up, struts, got to tell. Now, mind you, they're telling this whole story talking very softly through a foot wide metal door. Okay? A foot wide metal door. Okay? Starts to slaughter all the kids, right? She says, killed them all. Okay? I hid amongst them. Okay? We thought we would be saved, but Anakin slaughtered us all, basically, okay? So I tried to help them. Sure you did, but I couldn't, right, because you're a kid, okay? I was too weak, and right now you're too weak as well. When he left, I played dead because he did stab you, okay? So you played dead and hid with the bodies, okay? Felt them go cold. That's how long she was there for. Okay. So she hid there and then worked her way up the ranks, I guess, as the Inquisitor when she got older. So for 10 years. So she hasn't been in the Inquisitors very long. Okay. But anyway. So this is like the long game, let me tell you, because Darth Vader knew this was her from the past. So not only did he stab a 10-year-old, which is... that's not dark enough. And right now she's like 20, maybe 22. Maybe she was 12, right? And now she's like 22, 24, whatever, even though she looks like she's 30. Okay? The long game that Vader played was, I'm going to kill this 10-year-old, know that she's playing dead. Then I'm going to wait till she grows up, hire her as an Inquisitor, know that she's going to double-cross me, and then I'm going to stab her again. Okay? Because at this point, he already knows that she's double-crossing him because the Inquisitor is already there. Okay? So, you're not serving him, are you? Right? He figures out you're hunting him. I don't really know if it's hunting. It's a pretty bad hunting job. Okay? She's like, why would I ever trust you? Because you wanted the same thing? Okay? So, there's this moment. Do you really want Anakin dead? Which is right. You know, it's hard for him to kill Anakin because he loves him like a brother, which is understandable, which is a strong line. I like the line that she said to him. Okay? And it does. Like, you can see the look on his face. He's like, yeah, do I really want to kill this dude? I don't want to hurt him. He wants to kill me, but I don't want to hurt him. Hence why I chopped off his legs and arms and left him on the side of Mustafar. I didn't want to kill him. I just wanted to cripple him for life. Okay? Okay? So at this moment, okay, at this moment, this foot-long, thick door that Reva said they'll bunker down for days. Okay, bunker down for days. She decides that she's going to take her lightsaber. Now, obviously, we all thought the moment that Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan took their sabers and chucked them into that thick door inside the Separatist ship and started melting the thick metal and started breaking the lock within the inside of the thing. That was a cool moment, right? That was a cool moment. This just takes to a different level. She takes her sword out and then just stabs it through the door, which would happen, but then she cuts it through like a hot stick, a hot knife through butter, which is fine, okay? But then why say the line it'll take days to break through, okay? When they're literally, she just slices through, and mind you, when you cut through the door, the locking mechanism that barricades just keeps it from pulling apart, but there's still motors in there holding the door. It's not like you break the block and all of a sudden the doors just fly open like it's opening Walmart. Okay, but you can see the thickness of the door when it opens up, right? You can see the thickness of the door when it opens up and when it cuts through. And I just thought it was funny. Like, it's literally like this giant thick ass door that they were whispering through, which is just stupid. Then there's 100 troopers outside. There's like 20 guys on the inside. Lasers are flying in the doors. And not a lot of people die, I have to admit here. Not a lot of people die. They all start moving in, pushing in. I hate to say this, but you had a giant gun outside the door. All you had to do was shoot one more bullet inside that room, and the whole room would have been clear. Plus the Star Destroyer up on top, shooting down on the thing, and game over. Game over. Give me 1 second. I just had to get that bullshit out of my nose from all this. Okay. So they're having a fight, and obviously memory berries here. We're all like, oh my God, this is so good. This is a Star Wars fight that I've been wanting to see, and this is really cool. And yeah, I get it. Oh, stormtroopers dying. Obi-Wan's swinging the sword. Oh, this is awesome. Dip, blip, 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 block, block, block. He's blocking everything. He's a badass. All of a sudden, remember, just 6 hours ago, the dude didn't know how to use a sword. He was mentally disturbed and couldn't use his force powers and could barely lift a rock and all this stuff. Now he pushed Reva back 50 yards when he slides. They're doing point blank gun battles here. Obi-Wan, the lightsabers can cut through foot long metal doors, but when you hit a stormtrooper, you got to hit him 2-3 times. That armor, they should start building the doors out of the stormtrooper armor and not giant thick pieces of metal. Because it just doesn't work, right? He has to hit someone 3 times at least 3 times every time he kills a stormtrooper. So they're fighting, they're going back. Okay, they fight, they push back, they get pushed back, and Talia, whatever her name is, okay, is fighting and is going to commit suicide. Basically, cuts back to Leia in the vent. The mini mechanic who I'm sure people will talk about that, well, she's a Skywalker and Anakin, her father, was very good in mechanics. So obviously her father who built C-3PO and he was so good at it with his hands that osmosis kicks in and she's also very good with mechanics. And this is how she fixes the door. She also fixes Lola, barely inconvenience by just picking off the little thing and then fixing the robot. So that was happened. Obi-Wan picks up a couple people, moves them out of the hallway. The robot, and at this point, the loader bot, I have more compassion for the loader bot than I have for any human being in this show. I don't know what that says. I don't know if that says really good writing for the robot because he has no lines. He has 0 lines. Okay? So I think I'm going to be a big fan of Echo when it comes out because she's not going to have any lines either. Okay. So Craig says if they make the doors with Stormtrooper armor, they would never open it correctly. The give and take. That's right. It's true. So they're fighting. They're killing all the stormtroopers who have the worst aim possible. Okay, the robot is taking the loader bot's killing a whole bunch of stuff. First of all, I have to say, the stormtroopers when they come through, this made me laugh as well. Watch this scene right here. Okay, watch this scene right here. Let me get it real fast. Yeah, this is not how you storm a base, like a meat shield of stormtroopers that come out. Okay, like spread out, kill a bunch of guys, move forward, because they have days, not minutes, but I guess there's only 10 minutes left in the show. They had to hurry up. Okay, so the stormtroopers come in. Obi-Wan grabs the one girl, brings her back. The robot starts to get hit. He protects Talia, right? The robot fights, picks up people, shoves people. Great moment. I really felt for the loader bot. I don't even know what his name is, but I really feel for him. I can't wait to buy the action figure of him. Talia gets shot. She's on the ground. Everyone gets hit in the stomach. Everyone gets hit in the stomach. So she could have survived, but instead, she takes and saves Obi-Wan and everybody else. This is that moment, just like in The Last Jedi, where the girl we didn't care about took the ship instead of Captain Akbar and ran it into the big ship. This is that moment. This is the moment where Talia says, "I'm the greatest character here, and I will sacrifice myself for the greater good to make you guys escape." Let's not give it to the moment to Obi-Wan. Let's give it to the robot, come on. The robot, MVP. Yeah, he's definitely the loader bot is the MVP, Milky. Okay. And you can see, look, she's in love with this robot. She's like, I love this robot. I love this robot too. Okay. Look, she's like, I can't believe you're going to sacrifice. And he's like, we have to do what we have to do. And she's like, you're right. We do. We have to get out of this show as quick as possible. So I'm going to kill myself and you. And the robot's like, please do, because I don't want to be a part of this series any longer. So she holds it up, and Ben, who's known her for all of we'll say 24 hours. You got to go, right? You got to go. So she looks back at Obi-Wan, right? And holds up the thing like saying, I'm going to kill us now. And he's like, no, right? Now, I know I'm thinking of something here. I'm a Jedi. What would I do? What would I do in this moment, since I literally just used the Force power to shove her back 50 yards? Okay. What should I do at this moment? Oh, I know. Grab her and pull her towards me with the Force pull. Or wait, no, better yet, take the grenade with the Force power and just shove it out of her hand and throw it down the hallway. Or wait, how about Force push everyone back to give her time to grab her and go, nah, let's move it forward because we need someone to die that we don't care about. So let's let it be her. Closes the doors. Okay. And she says, may the Force be with you. Okay. Use the Force to pull her towards you and push the bomb towards the troops. Exactly, Gritter. Exactly. So then Reva says, nope. You gotta get back. Right? And then all of a sudden she moves back. Again, she's also a Jedi. She could have forced her and the robot closer to the other door. But again, who cares about this stuff? It doesn't mean anything. Consume. Exactly, Elite. Okay. Right? Just throw it down the hallway. You're being shielded by the robot, but whatever. And then he comes in, he's panting, right? He's like, oh, this is the look of I've done nothing yet again. That's what this is. I've done nothing yet again. Oh, wait. Is Princess Leia still here? Is someone still watching her? Okay, great. Let's move on. Okay. Oh, I just lost the woman I just found out. He's like, I'm over it. I'm over it. This man has seen so much murder over the time being. I don't think he would have blinked an eye for that woman. But anyway, he's like, all right, let's where's Talia? Oh God, she's gone. Please tell me we're close. Leia, you close? Yeah, Leia's like, yeah, working on it. Okay. It's the red box. It's the red box. And Darth Vader has this moment now where he senses what Obi-Wan senses. And then he knows that Kenobi is already ours. Okay? Because he's like, Obi-Wan's a pussy. Not like me. Okay? So I'm going to go down there. And then we're going back to the scene, the beautiful part of the show. The fight scene between, the sparring scene between Obi-Wan and the balancing act and whatnot between them. Right? He says, I have you now, master. And he's like, just because you have me down, you become too involved in your own thing, right? He's like, admit that you're beat. Okay? He says, so Obi-Wan went out to talk and then came back in, and then he gives himself up because Talia didn't have to die. If he just thought about this just seconds before and just said, you know what? I'll give myself up. Nope. He goes back out there, gives himself up. Okay. And when he says, I'll be back, he hands all his stuff to the other complete stranger, which now makes the plot go forward because here, take the phone recording that I have, take my lightsaber and take the other thing. Okay. Here, take this, take my lightsaber, take this voice recording, and this thing, because plot point. Okay. And that's it. And take care of Layla, Princess Leia for me. It's like, holy Christ. How stupid is this? How many times did he abandon the princess already? How many times? In 5 episodes, I think it was 3 times. He handed her off to Tala twice. Okay. And now he handed off to Haja. For God's sakes. Right? All right. So now he's going to go back out. Stormtroopers are picking up. He comes out with his hands up. They close the door from behind him. And they bring him outside. Princess fixes the gate. It's ready to go. Now Reva's outside. And now they're going to have another whisper match here. This time, they're talking the same volume, but out in front of all the stormtroopers to hear all their plans. Say, now Kenobi is ours. Okay. So Obi-Wan's on his knees. We're going to fast forward here a little bit. He starts we can work together. Now Obi-Wan's double-crossing her, saying, I'm going to use you. But she's like, all right, well, maybe we'll team up. You're going to let him do that again? And she's like, what? What he did to you? And he's like, we can bring him together. You could bring him down here. We could end this together. We could end this together, Anakin. Okay? But she's like, no. Because all he sees is me. Right? He's blinded by Obi-Wan. I think we're all blinded. I think it's very poetic that we're all blinded by Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, right? We think this is an actual good show. I don't. We actually think this is a good show because we're blinded by Obi-Wan. It's quite poetic. It's quite poetic. Okay? So, then, at this moment, I was a little confused. She's like, take him away. Now, why would you take him away when Vader is coming for him? Why would you put him behind the door with 2 stormtroopers? And then why would you close? Who's in control of this door? Who's in control of this door? Are they in control of the door? Because twice now that door's opened up and closed when the stormtroopers on the outside have control of it. Who has control of this door? Okay? Because when she sliced it open, it just went and just like wide open, right? So are the stormtroopers controlling this door from the outside? And then why are you putting Obi-Wan back in, okay, into the room? Because at this moment, is Reva working? Did they say, did she wink? Did something happen? Did she say, okay, we'll work together. I'll put you in there and that keep you for safekeeping. Obviously, they cut back and forth between the lightsaber duel now and then what's happening with inside the present day, right? They're fighting. Anakin thinks he's more powerful. He's doing all his moves. He's hitting Obi-Wan. And then all of a sudden, Obi-Wan knocks his things out, takes him out for the win, and then says, you think you always win. He says, well, your weapon's gone, Master. Right? And first off, let me bring this up. The CGI of this was it's good. The aging process is good, but you could tell Hayden Christensen is not fucking 18 there. I'm just saying. He's not 18 there. He's 38. Okay? Or 36. He looks it. Okay? Look at the Discord. You'll see what's happened there. Okay? So, they're fighting. He says, you need victory, Anakin. It blinds you. And then Anakin's like, you're right. And then all of a sudden, here we are. Vader comes in. And Reva's here. And she's like, where is he? Oh, he's through that door. I have him secured inside, my lord. Okay? I will bring him myself. Well, Obi-Wan's already escaped, and now he's running back in, so obviously this was part of the plan. Okay? So Darth Vader walks in, which is probably one of the coolest parts of the whole thing, sort of like the end scene of Rogue One, sort of like when he walks into the Yavin ship in Episode 4, and also when he walks in through the Hoth base. Okay, so Princess saves the robot, fixes the gate. The gate opens up. They're all great. Now they're doing a bait and switch. They all run into the ship. Okay, and we think as the audience that they're in that first ship. Okay, we think this is the first ship, but nope. They do the same trope they did in The Last Jedi. No, not The Last Jedi. I'm sorry, The Last Skywalker, where you thought Chewie died, but he didn't because he was in the other ship. Okay, so at this point, he's very proud of Princess, right? He's like, oh, I'm so proud. Vader's coming in, and he's just smashing doors. And this was a cool part, right? The ship takes off, and he grabs it and holds it up. Now, I've said this before. They could have done this at all. Like, all the Inquisitors and stuff could do this with the Jedi powers. Now, obviously, Vader's much stronger and whatnot. But I did love this moment where he did grab the ship. Again, jangling the keys, get excited. Darth Vader's doing something badass. Doesn't matter how shit everything else was in this show. This show is awesome. Okay? That's what happens. Please consume. Okay, so he takes this and he slams the ship down on the ground, tears off a chunk of it, tears off another chunk of it. But who's flying the ship? Who's flying the ship? Now they're waiting. They're waiting in the wings. Takes the ship and he smashes it down, rips off the stuff, and then they start up the boosters and they take off and they're gone. Why didn't he just grab it again? Okay. And the ship's on the way. So not only did Darth Vader stop to get Obi-Wan, think about this. Last week, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, 10 feet separated, 30 feet separated him and Obi-Wan Kenobi between fire. The robot came and saved him, and Vader's like, nah, I'm good. 10 years of torment. I want revenge. And he's 30 feet away. Nah, I'm going to let him go. And then this time, he can hold a ship with his powers much farther away than 30 feet. Slam it down on the ground and tear it apart, but yet couldn't get Obi-Wan 2 episodes ago. And then at the same time, lets him escape yet again. What a bitch. You're a bitch. Give me 1 second. Yeah, they spent a lot of money on this episode with the CGI de-aging process and the special effects on the ship. So Darth Vader breathes heavily. He's looking out like, God damn it, I lost him again. Okay. So then he takes the the saber from Anakin in the fight, and he says, "You're a great warrior, Anakin, but you need to prove yourself is your undoing." Okay. So you take this to heart. It cuts from this. He says, "Until you overcome it, you'll always be a Padawan." So this is supposed to be the moment that retcons the retcon. Okay. Them fighting 2 episodes ago. 2 episodes ago. I'm dying because I'm talking about Star Wars. Them fighting 2 episodes ago. Okay. Retconned episode 4. So they had to retcon the retcon. And this moment here, okay, this moment here is that you will always be a Padawan because of this until you understand. Okay? And it's like respect, right? And I did like this moment between them. Okay? Cuts back to Vader after he says that line, and he remembers Obi-Wan telling him that line. Okay? And it just stares off, and Vader's thinking about what he said. So this is that moment where it breaks the thing that he broke. Okay? Maybe this would be better if it was a movie theater. Maybe. They still have to take out a lot of characters, though. Right? So then we find Reva is behind him. Now, if you, and I'm talking to you, chat, if you're a person that wants revenge on someone that stabbed you when you were 10 years old and you grew up 10, 12 years later, you've probably been training for this moment. You've probably been dreaming of this moment this is the moment that I am going to kill you. I'm going to kill you, right? This is what Reva should have been doing this entire time, but she was so clouded in judgment and anger. Obviously, don't you think Vader knows her plan in her head? Because if he can read Obi-Wan's thoughts across the universe if he used the Force, don't you think he would have known who you were? I don't know. Just a thought. Just a thought process there. Okay. So then she decides to take the largest swing known to man. She doesn't turn the saber on and stab him, because that's the shortest route, right? She takes it and then goes up above like this and then comes down, okay? And when she comes down, she holds back because Vader stops her, and then he's like, He's just blocking it. She's fighting with the saber. He says, he was wise to use you against me. Okay. Now that they never mentioned that it was using her against him. But anyway, now she's screaming because that's all she has. This is the only emotion that she has in the show. Such depth, such loveliness from this actress. Again, nothing against the actress herself, but this role was just terrible for her. Okay. She wanted to spice it up. Maybe Santos, right? So then I did love the move. Again, she comes back. The first time doing this was so successful, so she comes back at him again, and he's just blocking and doing this, and it was very cool looking, right? He was just doing ba 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 ba. And then he steals the lightsaber from her, breaks it apart, and I thought this moment here was really cool. I thought he was going to chop off her head, and I was like, yes, please chop off her head. Okay. The fight scene was cool, and I did say that Vader would kill her, but at the same time, he didn't kill her, okay? Because no one dies from a lightsaber anymore. Nobody dies from a lightsaber anymore. This moment here, hold on, let me see if I can get this. This was actually a pretty cool moment, but at the same time, I was like, that wouldn't happen. So this moment right here. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but the double blade comes out. She has the blade like this, and then it shoots out. And Vader decides to catch the blade. Maybe you guys didn't hear me correctly. To catch the blade. This is the same blade that went through the foot-long door and sliced it like a hot knife through butter. Okay? Yet he catches it. Now, as soon as he did this with his hand, it would just, fingers and hand would be gone. Now, I understand it's a robot hand and whatnot, but this is not a thing, okay? You can't grab a lightsaber. I'm just saying. Okay? Anyway. He grabs it and pushes back. Still has a hand, by the way, not mangled in any way, shape, or form. He's doing a whole bunch of moves. Did he grab it? Yes, Santos. Go watch it again. I can't play it for you. It's hard to pause it on that. Yeah, he grabs it. He grabs it and then shoves it off. Like it's very obvious. Okay. So as they're doing this, then she does the whole little spin thing that the Inquisitors have, and then he takes it and then, stabs her. Okay. And I'm like, what is going on? Does nobody die? Does everybody have two stomachs? Like, what's the deal here? Okay. He breaks it in half and then stabs her. It would have been awesome. How awesome callback would it have been? See, this is the plot device. The plot device. The phone call before with Organa to hand to said person we don't give a shit about, to then drop it on the ground, for Anakin to hold two sabers in his hands from somebody that chopped off his hand. This person's about to kill him. He should have just went and cut it off, and we would have been like, woo! I would have been, this is the greatest episode ever. Okay? But no. Plot point, the thing's on the ground. We stab her. She's not dead. She's going to come back. And she's going to get in. She's going to meet you at Tatooine. And I'm going to hold this kid hostage once you drop off Princess and you come back to Tatooine. You're going to look through your binoculars like this. And all of a sudden you're going to be like, what the hell? Because you're going to see Reva slicing shit up or holding him hostage with a gun or something to his head. And then Owen's going to kill her. Obi-Wan won't even get the kill. I repeat, Obi-Wan will not even get the kill. Okay? And so we continue on. And as this is happening, she gets stabbed. When she tries to do one more fight, he gives her actually the saber back to fight. Says, here, you pathetic person. You weren't even trained. Who trained you from 10 to 10? Did you do it all by yourself? Did she go to the Shang-Chi training, the sisters training room of the rings, the 10 Rings organization? Okay. So he comes over and stabs her. Now, what it looks like here is not only did he stab her once, he knows who she is. He knows that she's the one from the temple. He knows that she's there. Stabbed her there, stabs her again. She's living the dream twice. It's poetic because it's nice because she's on her knees and she's the same height that she was when she was a Padawan. Anakin stabbed her when she was Anakin, and now he stabs her. But it doesn't make sense how she knows that Anakin is Darth Vader in any way, shape, or form. But I digress. Okay. Stabs her through the stomach, or her second stomach or whatever. So she got stabbed twice. Okay. And then the Grand Inquisitor comes in. Now, obviously, I was upset when the Grand Inquisitor died because I was like, this is retconning what happened in Rebels. I was like, there's no way he's dead. And obviously, he's not dead. Now, my question to you is, why even do that? Why even show the Grand Inquisitor dying when you know? Because the only people that know that the Grand Inquisitor doesn't die are Star Wars fans that watch Rebels. Okay? So to show something to me like that means that you're doing it on purpose just to aggravate the people that watch your shows, right? And you're wasting not only our time, you're wasting your time as well, okay? But it's not really a waste of their time because they want us to be angry, okay? They want us to be angry, okay? Then they also retcon the thing about he already knew who Vader was, okay? But then he finds out who Vader is here, and that changes that. Then they also retcon Princess Leia about knowing who Obi-Wan is. Well, she didn't know who Obi-Wan was, but now she does, but now they have to fix that. So wipe, one last thing, Leia, and then he'll wipe her mind because that's what's going to happen. Plot device, okay? Hence why she doesn't say, Obi-Wan, you saved me 10 years ago 3 times, okay? This is why you know my father, okay? Vader says, did you really believe I did not see it, youngling? Okay. It's like an insult calling her youngling. He says, I knew this. And the Inquisitor comes in. You are no further in use. Hello, third sister. Revenge does wonders for the will to live, don't you think? Okay. So he comes in. Now, you would think the Inquisitor would take revenge and stab her in the other stomach and kill her. Nope. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. In the gutter is where you belong. Now, it doesn't tell a story. Now, there was a rumor about a Riva show. If that happens, that would just be just really, really just a waste of everyone's time. Okay. Okay. So the Inquisitor and Vader walk off and leave her there. Now she's dying, or not really. She's just barely. It's a flesh wound, right? It's a flesh wound. They're on the ship. All of a sudden, Obi goes, something's wrong, right? Feels something, because obviously their warp drive is broke. Vader's chasing him down in the ship, and obviously they're going to slow down because they don't have a warp drive, so it's going to take some time. So obviously, I think they're going to fight maybe one more time. Obi-Wan and maybe him fight one more time. I don't know. Okay, but Reva finds the communicator. And we know what it says. Okay? It says, help the boy. And he's like, wait a minute. So, now, do you guys think, okay, do you think that Princess Leia goes with Obi-Wan to Tatooine? I said this, I think, 2 episodes ago. Or maybe it was last week's episode. Do you think Leia meets Luke when they're kids? Or do you think he drops her off at Alderaan, then goes back to Tatooine, then has the altercation with Reva, and then, Owen kills Reva? That's my thing. Sounds amazing. It's great, Sarge. It's fantastic. Okay. So anyway, then we see, dun dun dun, Luke Skywalker. What's gonna happen? I don't know, and I really don't care. And that was episode 5 of the Obi-Wan show. Overall, I thought the production value was much higher. I think the CGI was pretty good at times. The aging process was not as good. You can see the guy who in his basement did it this afternoon made a better version of it than in one afternoon, mind you. In one afternoon, this person made a better version. Okay, I'll show it after this in the after show of this. I'll show it to you guys. Okay, so overall, this was the best episode of the series so far, but that's not saying much. The best parts about this was the memory berries of Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, what we've been asking for the entire time. The best parts about this was the skirmish between Obi-Wan and Anakin, and then just the fight that was going on with the fight scene with Darth Vader. Like, overall, the writing is absolute garbage. Reva's character is absolute garbage. I feel sorry for the actress because they wrote the character this way. And the director didn't give her any direction. And they literally let her out to dry. Okay, they hung her out to dry. She's a terrible role in this. Okay, I have nothing against Moses Ingram. Okay, but the director and the writers literally hung her out there. And it's terrible. Okay, overall, it's the best episode. I'll give it like a 6. Okay. I don't fall for the action sequences wiping out everything else. The writing, the dialogue, the acting, all of this stuff is just terrible in my opinion. So that will do it. We do have a call-in show after this. So if you're watching this after the fact on my Nerding with 30 channel, make sure you hit share, like, and subscribe. We do appreciate you very much. The show is not over. The credits are going to roll for a second just to finish out actually, no, there's no credits because I get demonetized for that. So this will be ending, and then we'll have a call-in section for Obi-Wan. And then after we're done with that, we're going to go into Miss Marvel. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.